What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Monday Night Reviews. So I'm going to give you guys the results and the reviews of what happened last night on Monday Night Raw. And we kick things off with MVP's new show, the VIP Lounge, or MVP's VIP Lounge. And they have special guests involved with the men who are in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, and Apollo Crews. And MVP will give Apollo credit for beating MVP last week. And guess who's here to interrupt the three men once again? Zelina Vega and her partners, as what you like to call, the United States Champion Andrade, Angel Garza, and Austin Theory. For whatever reason, Zelina Vega says that they want Rey, Aleister, and Apollo to switch their places with the Money in the Bank ladder matches and replace Andrade, Angel Garza, and Austin Theory. And in my mind, I'm like, hell no! There's no way that you're giving these three bitches an opportunity just because they just want to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, and Apollo Crews earned their opportunity just to win the matches. And it turns into a brawl between the six-man, and that is why they put themselves in a six-man tag team match between Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, and Apollo Crews versus Andrade and Angel Garza and Austin Theory. What Andrade was about to do, he was about to do his finishing move, the DDT, but somehow Apollo Crews countered with his finishing maneuver, the powerbomb, 1, 2, 3 for the win for his team, and that was a really good solid tag team match to kick off the show. And during backstage, Charlie was interviewing Andrade and Zelina Vega, and Apollo Crews was all excited that he pinned the United States Champion, and Apollo Crews went for a smack in the face to Andrade, and somehow the United States Championship match was made just now, just because the rivalry was about to spark. So the United States Championship match will take place tonight. There was supposed to be a triple threat match between Shayna Baszler, Asuka, and Nia Jax, but unfortunately the match didn't take place because it ended in a brawl, and somehow Shayna Baszler was about to do the same thing what she did to her victims, and somehow she encountered Asuka, and Nia Jax take out both women, and somehow Nia Jax is standing tall. Will she be able to win the Money in the Bank ladder match after her triumphant return? Next up, we have Bobby Lashley versus a local competitor or jobber. I don't freaking know. But somehow Bobby Lashley doesn't want Lana in his corner because he said that whenever he's in a ring, he gets so distracted by Lana's looks and telling Lana that she's beautiful, and somehow that worked out, and somehow Bobby Lashley went for the spear for the win over the jobber. We have the rematch from last week, Ruby Riott versus Liv Morgan, and somehow Ruby Riott went for the Riot Kick to Liv Morgan, but unexpectedly kicked out at 2, and no one, and I mean no one, has ever kicked out of the Riot Kick, ever. But somehow Liv Morgan countered with a finishing maneuver, which her finishing maneuver I think is called Bolivian. And somehow 1, 2, 3 for the win over Ruby Riott for the second week in a row. It's crazy! Byron Saxton interviews Liv Morgan, and she says that she wants the Raw Women's Championship. She wants Becky Lynch. And all I know that Becky Lynch, she doesn't have an opponent for Money in the Bank, but we'll just see how it goes, and maybe what's going to happen with Becky Lynch, because we haven't seen Becky Lynch in a while. And I know because of COVID-19, and honestly, Becky Lynch has taken out Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania. She retained the Raw Women's Championship, and she has been the champion for over a year, which is crazy. And a former WWE Champion returns after an injury. Jinder Mahal takes on Akira Tozawa with a collapse for the win. And I never liked Jinder Mahal. I never liked him. But, like, ever since then, never do. Next up, we have the United States Championship match between Apollo Crews and Andrade, and things didn't go pretty so well because during the match, Apollo tweaked his knee, which you say injured his knee, and somehow Andrade is targeting the knee of Apollo, which turns out to be a pretty good match so far. But what happened was when Apollo was about to fly high or something like that, he tweaked his knee so bad that the referee had to stop the match, and therefore Andrade is still your United States Champion. Unfortunately for Apollo Crews, we just found out that because of his injury, he won't be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So, my question for you guys is, who will take Apollo's place for the Money in the Bank ladder match? Next up, we have Ricochet and Cedric Alexander taking on Everrise. I don't know who these two men are, but okay. And what happened was, I think Ricochet went for the super kick to one of the tag teams, and somehow teamwork together to do a finishing maneuver and a 1-2-3 for the win over Everrise. And MVP talks to Ricochet and Cedric Alexander from backstage, and I believe MVP was from backstage and they were in the ring, and somehow invited these two men who were defeated by Ricochet and Cedric Alexander last week. I can't remember their names, but I'll put them up once I see their names. And somehow they wanted a rematch of what happened last week. So, we don't know when the rematch is going to be, but we'll find out sooner or later. Then we have the contract signing for the WWE Championship against the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. And somehow, no hesitation, Drew McIntyre immediately signs the contract, and they're going back and forth and talk the talk, and with Seth Rollins saying that they need a leader. And I know that he's the Monday Night Messiah, but like, why does his character of the Messiah and everything had to do with it? I'm like, it doesn't make sense. After all of that, Seth Rollins finally signs the contract, and as soon as he was about to say, "Have faith in me," Drew McIntyre immediately attacks Seth Rollins and somehow was about to end Seth Rollins with a Claymore kick. But however, Buddy Murphy of all people, attacks Drew McIntyre and came to the aid for Seth Rollins. But somehow, when Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy were about to reconcile and somehow make friendship happen, Drew McIntyre went for the Claymore kick, but Seth Rollins rolled out of the way, and somehow the contract has been signed. The WWE Championship match will take place at Money in the Bank. That's it for today's episode of Monday Night Reviews. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's still more to come for Monday Night Raw next week, but this week on Friday Night SmackDown, I told you guys the matches of what's going to happen in the preview, of what Otis and Dolph Ziggler and Carmella and Mandy Rose for the Money in the Bank qualifying matches. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I will see you all later. Bye guys!